Life is short, too short to wait for the perfect moment, too short to keep making excuses, too short to live someone else's dream. If you have an idea, a vision, a fire burning inside you, start today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when the time feels right. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. The stars won't magically align, the world won't pause for you to catch up. The only thing that matters is what you choose to do in this very moment. Too many people wait. They wait for permission, for inspiration, for a sign. They wait until they feel ready. But waiting is just another name for fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And while you wait, someone else is out there taking action, learning, growing, building, and creating. They are shaping the future while you're still stuck in the past. Look around you. Everything you see, every invention, every breakthrough, every success story was once just an idea in someone's mind. What made the difference? Action. The courage to start when the path wasn't clear. The resilience to push forward despite obstacles. The belief that even the smallest step today could lead to something extraordinary tomorrow. People will doubt you. They will tell you it's impossible, that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not experienced enough. But the world isn't changed by those who listen to doubt. It's changed by those who refuse to let fear dictate their destiny. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to begin. Make mistakes, learn from them, adjust, keep moving, because every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to something great. One day you'll look back at this moment and realize it was the decision to start that made all the difference. Not the resources you had, not the circumstances you were in, but the fact that you took the first step when others hesitated. There is a voice inside you that whispers about the things you want to do, the dreams you wish to chase, the goals you hope to achieve, but every time you hear it, something stops you. You tell yourself, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe when I have more time, more money, more confidence, and just like that, days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The dream fades into the background, buried under excuses and hesitation. But the truth is, tomorrow is a lie. It's a false promise we tell ourselves to avoid taking action today. The perfect moment will never come. The conditions will never be ideal. And if you wait for everything to align, you will spend your whole life waiting. The people who achieve great things, the ones who change the world, aren't the ones who waited for the right time. They're the ones who started, even when they weren't ready. Starting today means stepping into the unknown. It means embracing the fear, the uncertainty, the imperfection of the present moment. It means understanding that you don't need all the answers, you don't need a flawless plan, and you don't need permission from anyone. You just need to begin. The first step might be small, it might be messy, it might not even feel significant, but that first step is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You have everything you need right now. You have the ability to take action, to make progress, to learn, to grow. Every great journey begins with a single step. And that step must be taken today, because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Fear gets stronger, doubts grow louder, and opportunities slip away. One day you'll look back at this moment and realize that it wasn't the resources, the circumstances, or the timing that made the difference. It was the decision to start, the choice to stop waiting and take control of your life. That moment is now. That choice is yours. And the time to act is today. Fear is the silent thief of dreams. It disguises itself as logic, as hesitation, as endless planning. It whispers doubts in your mind, convincing you that you're not ready, that you might fail, that others will judge you. And so you wait. You wait for confidence to appear, for certainty to replace doubt, for fear to disappear. But it never does. Fear does not fade with time. It only grows stronger the longer you let it control you. Every person who has ever achieved something great has felt fear. Every innovator, every creator, every leader has faced that moment of doubt, that voice telling them to step back. The difference is they didn't listen. They acted despite the fear. They understood that fear is not a stop sign. It's proof that they were stepping into something meaningful, something worth pursuing. Fear only exists where there is potential. If what you wanted to do didn't matter, you wouldn't feel afraid. Most people let fear write the story of their lives. They stay within their comfort zones, playing it safe, never risking, never daring. But safety is an illusion. The real danger is spending your life wondering what could have been, regretting the chances you didn't take, watching someone else live the dream you were too afraid to chase, the only way to silence fear is through action. The moment you take that first step, fear begins to lose its power. Every small move forward builds confidence, and confidence doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. You don't need to be fearless to start, you just need to be brave enough to take that first step, even with fear walking beside you. The choice is simple. Let fear keep you standing still, or let courage push you forward. The people who change the world, the ones who build, create, and lead, are not the ones who were fearless. They are the ones who felt fear, looked it in the eye, and moved forward anyway. That moment is here right now. Don't wait for fear to leave, because it won't. Start today, even if your hands shake and your heart races, because once you start, fear loses. Perfection is an illusion. It's a trap that keeps people stuck, endlessly preparing, endlessly doubting, endlessly waiting. How many dreams have been delayed? How many ideas have been abandoned just because someone thought, it's not ready yet, I need more time, it has to be perfect before I start? But the truth is, nothing starts perfect. Nothing great was ever built in a single flawless moment. Every masterpiece, every invention, every success was once rough, unpolished, full of mistakes. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for perfection. They understand that progress is messy, that the first version of anything will never be the best. They start when it's uncomfortable, when it's unclear, when they don't have all the answers, because they know that action is the only way to learn, to improve, to grow. Waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect skill set, the perfect conditions. This is just another form of fear, and fear's greatest weapon is making you believe that you're not ready. You don't need to have everything figured out before you begin. You don't need the perfect strategy, the perfect timing, the perfect resources. You just need movement. The first step may be small, may be awkward, may even feel like failure. But that step, no matter how imperfect, is what separates those who dream from those who do. Every great achievement was once a work in progress. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story was once a collection of failures. Perfectionism kills more dreams than failure ever will. Because failure teaches, failure sharpens, failure pushes you forward. But perfectionism, it keeps you frozen, trapped in a cycle of overthinking and hesitation. The real secret is this: success is built on action, not on waiting for the perfect moment. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you become. One day you'll look back and realize that the only thing holding you back was the belief that you had to be perfect to start. You don't, you just have to begin. Start today, not because everything is ready, but because you are willing to grow along the way. Look around you, everything you see, the phone in your hand, the car on the street, the light in the room, the technology that connects the world, was once just an idea in someone's mind. It didn't exist until someone dared to create it, to take that first step, to build something where nothing stood before. The world is not shaped by those who sit back and wait, it is shaped by those who act. The difference between those who dream and those who succeed is simple: action. Everyone has ideas, everyone has desires, everyone imagines a better future, but very few take the steps to make it real. Most people get stuck in their thoughts, overthinking, doubting, making excuses, convincing themselves that someone else will do it better, that they don't have enough experience, that they'll start later. And while they wait, someone else is out there doing. The greatest minds in history were not always the smartest, the most talented, or the most experienced, but they were the boldest. They were the ones who refused to let fear, doubt, or failure stop them. They knew that success is not built in the mind, it is built in action. They didn't have all the answers when they started, but they learned by doing. They failed, they adapted, they improved, and eventually they changed the world. What would happen if you stopped waiting? What would happen if you started today, right now, with what you have? The world is waiting for creators, for innovators, for leaders, people who don't just dream but do. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every revolution came from someone who decided that today was the day to begin. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to take the first step, because the world doesn't belong to those who sit on the sidelines. It belongs to those who dare to move, to build, to act. And the only way to be one of them is to start today. The moment you decide to start, the world will test you, people will question you, doubt you, tell you that you're aiming too high, dreaming too big. They will remind you of the risks, the obstacles, the chances of failure. They will compare you to others. to those who have already succeeded as if success is reserved for a chosen few. And if you're not careful, you might believe them, you might hesitate, you might think maybe they're right, but they're not. Every person who has ever done something extraordinary has faced doubt. Sometimes from the world, sometimes from their own mind. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The ones who succeed refuse to let doubt define their path. They don't waste time seeking validation from others. They don't wait for approval before taking action. They trust in their vision, even when no one else can see it. Doubt is a reflection of someone else's limitations, not yours. When people say you can't do something, they are speaking from their own fears, their own failures, their own regrets. But their doubts are not your reality. The only voice that truly matters is the one inside you, the one that tells you to keep going, to take the leap, to prove them wrong, not with words, but with action. No one changed the world by following the crowd. No one created something great by listening to those who said it's impossible. The ones who leave a mark, the ones who redefine what's possible, are those who ignore the noise and keep moving forward. They know that the world belongs to those who dare to try, to fail, to rise, and to try again. If you wait for approval, you will wait forever. If you need permission, you will never begin. The only validation you need is the one that comes from seeing yourself grow, from knowing you took a chance, from refusing to let fear and doubt win. You have a choice. Listen to those who say you can't or show them that you can. But the only way to do that is to start today. Failure is not the enemy. It is not a sign to stop, not a reason to quit, not proof that you weren't meant to succeed. Failure is a teacher, a guide, a necessary part of growth. The most successful people in history are not the ones who avoided failure. They are the ones who embraced it, learned from it, and kept going. They understood a simple truth. The only real failure is never trying at all. Think about the first time you tried to walk as a child. You didn't get it right the first time. You fell, you stumbled, you got up and tried again. No one told you to quit just because you fell. No one said maybe walking isn't for you. You simply got up and kept moving. That's how life works, that's how success works. But somewhere along the way, we start fearing failure instead of using it as fuel. Mistakes don't define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. Some people see failure as the end, while others see it as a stepping stone. Some let it break them, while others let it build them. The difference? Mindset. The moment you realize that every setback is part of the process, you stop being afraid to start, you stop hesitating, stop waiting for perfection, stop fearing what might go wrong. Instead, you take action, knowing that every mistake is bringing you closer to success. Every great achievement in history was built on a foundation of failures. Every invention, every breakthrough, every masterpiece was once a collection of mistakes. But those who created them understood something most people don't. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. The only way to learn, to grow, to improve is by doing, failing, adjusting, and doing again. So stop worrying about getting everything right. Stop fearing the missteps, the setbacks, the rejections. They are part of the journey. They are proof that you are moving forward. And the only way to truly fail is to never start at all. Success is not about avoiding failure, it's about using it. And the only way to use it is to start today. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that success happens all at once. They look at those who have achieved greatness and assume it happened overnight, as if one big leap took them from nothing to everything. But that's not how it works. Success is not one giant step. It's a series of small steps taken consistently over time. Every massive achievement, every great creation, every breakthrough started with something small, a single idea, a simple action, a tiny step forward. The problem is, most people don't take that first step because it feels too small, too insignificant. They want to see instant results, they want a shortcut, and when they don't see immediate success, they stop. They give up before they even give themselves a chance. But real progress is invisible at first. The small efforts you make today might not seem like much, but they add up. Every book ever written started with a single sentence. Every business ever built started with one decision. Every success story began with someone taking a step when there were no guarantees, no clear path, no proof that it would work, just the belief that small efforts lead to big results. The secret is consistency. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start and keep going. One step today, another tomorrow, and another the day after that. Over time, those steps create momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Too many people wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, the ideal conditions, but the truth is, if you take small steps every day, you will look back months from now and realize how far you've come. The dream that once felt impossible will be within reach, not because you made one huge leap, but because you showed up every single day. Success is built on the little things, the small efforts, the daily actions, the quiet moments when no one is watching, but you keep moving forward anyway. And the only way to begin that journey is to take the first step today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because even the smallest step is infinitely better than standing still. Time is the most valuable thing you have, yet it's the one thing people waste the most. They act as if they have forever, as if they can put off their dreams, their goals, their ambitions for some distant perfect moment. But time does not wait. Every second that passes is gone forever. Every day you delay is a day you will never get back. The future's not guaranteed. The only time you truly have is right now. Most people live as if they are rehearsing for life, as if one day they'll finally feel ready to begin. But this is not a rehearsal, this is it. This is your life happening right now. Every day you spend waiting is a day you could have spent building, creating, learning, growing. You will never be younger than you are at this moment. You will never have more time than you do right now. And yet, so many people let their days slip away, filling them with distractions, with excuses, with hesitation. Look around you. Everything changes. People change, opportunities come and go. The world moves forward, whether you do or not. And one day you will wake up and realize that the time you thought you had is gone. The dreams you once had are still just dreams. The ideas you once believed in never became reality, not because they were impossible, but because you never started. Those who achieve greatness don't have more time than you. They don't have some magical ability to slow the clock. They simply understand that time is their most precious asset, and they refuse to waste it. They act while others hesitate. They move while others wait. They start before they feel ready because they know that the only way to create the future they want is to use the time they have right now. You don't need more time. You don't need to wait for tomorrow. What you need is to realize that today is all you have, and that is enough. The question is not whether you have time. The question is whether you will use it. And if you truly want to change your life, the only answer is to start today. One day you will look back on your life and see two things: the chances you took or the chances you missed, the risks you embraced or the ones you ran from, the dreams you chased or the dreams you let slip away. The reality is time will pass whether you act or not. The question is, when that time has passed, will you be proud of what you did, or will you be filled with regret for what you never dared to try? Regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches, failure strengthens, failure gives you wisdom. But regret lingers, it follows you, it whispers, what if, and why didn't I? It reminds you of the moments you hesitated, the opportunities you let go, the dreams you left unrealized. And the worst part is, by the time regret sets in, it is often too late to go back. People avoid taking action because they fear making mistakes, but mistakes can be corrected. What cannot be undone is the time wasted in hesitation. Years from now, you won't remember the small failures, the awkward first steps, or the times things didn't go as planned. What you will remember are the moments you were brave enough to try, to take a risk, to believe in yourself when no one else did. You will remember the times you stepped forward even when fear tried to hold you back. The future is not something that happens to you, it is something you create with the choices you make today. Every great success, every incredible achievement, every life-changing breakthrough happened because someone refused to let fear win. They chose action over hesitation. They chose to move forward instead of standing still. If you don't start now, then when? If you don't take the risk today, what makes you think you will tomorrow? There is no perfect time. There is no guarantee of a second chance. All you have is this moment, this day, this opportunity to begin. And when you do, you will realize that the only thing you ever had to fear was waiting too long. The only way to live without regret is to start today. There comes a point in life when you have to decide, will you keep waiting or will you take control? Will you let fear, doubt, and hesitation hold you back, or will you rise above them? The world is full of people who had dreams but never acted, who had ideas but never built, who had passion but never pursued it. And the only difference between them and those who succeed is one thing: action. You don't need more time. You don't need more resources. You don't need someone else's permission. Everything you need to begin is already within you. The only thing missing is the moment you choose to take that first step. It doesn't matter if it's small. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. What matters is that you begin, because once you do, momentum will carry you forward. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you are on the path to something extraordinary. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the perfect circumstances, waiting for the fear to disappear. But waiting is a lie. There is no perfect moment. There is no guarantee that tomorrow will come. The only thing that is certain is now. And if you don't start now, then when? Think about the life you want. Think about the dreams that excite you, the goals that keep you awake at night. Now realize this: every second you wait is a second wasted. Every excuse you make is a step away from that dream. Every hesitation is a moment you will never get back. The clock is ticking and time is indifferent. It moves forward whether you do or not. So what will you do? Will you look back one day and say, I wish I had started? Or will you say, I'm glad I did? The choice is yours. You have everything you need. The world is waiting. Your future is waiting. The only thing left to do is begin. Not tomorrow, not someday, today.